Hello, today is the 18th of August 2025. It's been a while since I made a video, and that's why I'm making one today, because there have been a couple of thoughts in my mind the past while, and I'd just like to have them in a video and update you on how I'm doing on a daily basis and how I'm managing like negative thoughts better. Starting off with how my last video ended, basically, I was talking about the project I'm currently working on based on Irish myths and legends. And I think it's been like 3 weeks since I made that video or something. And I was extremely busy the past 3 weeks because of this project. So I was really working from Monday to Friday on this project, writing loads, filling out the application to send off to Screen Ireland, and writing over and back with my producer because she was helping me as well and gave me tips. So at the end of last week, I sent it off, and today is Monday. I sent it off and I felt very good about it and so on. So I'm going to kind of talk a bit about the process. So basically from the very beginning, I very much enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed creating an idea based on just, freedom, based on my imagination, based on, whatever genre I wanted to, take on and interpret into the story. And I just really loved it because I felt like very much free in, I could just use my imagination to create a full story. And I really loved it. I really loved putting the pieces together and finding, how can I get from A to B, finding that transition sort of thing. I didn't know or didn't think I would necessarily enjoy it as much as I did, but I really do love creating things and writing things and coming up with ideas and finding solutions to like little problems or whatever. Yeah, and I would say there was like 1 or 2 days that were a bit more difficult, and why they were difficult is because on those days I then doubted myself or beat myself up. And not that I do that so much anymore, because I don't, but there's still certain moments during my days or certain, days that are just stronger where I, beat myself up more, I doubt myself more. And there was one day in particular where I was really kind of feeling down about it all. I was like, what I'm writing is not good enough anyway, and I feel like I should have known certain things, because one of the last days I sent everything I had written to my producer so that she could like look over it and give me some suggestions or some tips on like what to change and how to improve it. And she sent back so many notes that I was just like, oh my god. I was just very like overwhelmed with it all, and I was then like, oh, should I have known that? And does that mean mine isn't so good? Because she was also focused on correcting me on things, and she didn't really say, but your idea is really good and I love what you did here or here. She never really said that. She just focused on what I could change. So I then started doubting myself and just feeling like there's so many mistakes and maybe it's not that good or whatever. Like, it just made me focus more on the negative as well than on the positive. And it took me, a while to get out of that. I then felt quite low on energy because I was more like, when I was writing that day then as well and creating the idea more, I was, more focused on maybe it's, just not that good or whatever. And then what helped me was really to see, first of all, like I'm focusing on the negative more than on the positive, and that's not necessarily true. Focus on the fact that I'm putting so much effort into it and that my idea is good. And even if I don't get picked if I'm not one of the 10 people that get picked to actually produce this series, then it doesn't mean that mine wasn't good. It just means there was many people applying for this, and there was just these 10 that were, better than me, or the people who were looking through the applications just in that moment felt like those 10 people were the suitable ones. It doesn't mean mine was bad. It just means for whatever reason, it's not as suitable as the other 10 are to produce the series or whatever, And so I was trying to much more focus on the amount of effort I'm putting into this, and that I did enjoy it, and being proud of myself that I didn't put as much pressure on myself as I would have done in the past. Like in the past, I would have always been like, okay, you need to get to work, you need to keep working, you need to correct it, you need to make good, you need to do this and that. And even though I still did put some sort of pressure on myself, I didn't feel like if I don't listen to this, then it's really bad, or I should feel bad about myself. It was more like, I was like, okay, I should probably get to work by like between 10:30 and 11, and then I should write a bit. And I did always feel a little pressure to get to work then, and then I did feel a bit bad if I didn't get to work between 10:30 and 11. But I always very easily brushed that off, whereas in the past I wouldn't have. I would have felt bad the whole day then, just because I got to work later than I wanted to, or told myself I should. So now I was just like, I have the whole day, there's no pressure, this is, I can do all of this in my own time. Even if I don't watch a movie tonight, for example, I can keep working on this. Like, I have so much time and there's no pressure and all of that. Like, I was really able to brush that off, and I then didn't feel really bad about myself, when I took breaks in between longer than, I had planned or whatever. Like, I just allowed myself to be more free with it, and that's why I felt much more relaxed as well. And that was actually something that was really helpful, was taking breaks in between, so that I could just refresh my mind. I wasn't so like stressed and focused on my thoughts and trying to really get this idea into place. But taking breaks in between really for myself, to clear my mind and to just enjoy what I had as well. Because when I was writing, I was very much in it. Like, I very much forgot about whatever was around me, and I was very much in my mind, so that was exhausting at times as well. But not in a bad way. It's just like I needed then like a 10-minute break, and then I could return. So yeah, that really helped me as well to feel much more relaxed inside myself, and to check in with myself and just be like, okay, let's just take a break and return in like 10 minutes. That one day where I was struggling a bit more, I think that evening, I was already feeling better throughout the day because of then how I spoke to myself, and I turned around the pressurizing comments on myself or the negative thoughts about myself. I kind of turned them around and looked for proof of the opposite, and was more like kind to myself. But then in the evening, when Mom and I shortly spoke about this, she said to me as well that, look, my producer is focusing on, the things I can correct and stuff, because she wants to help me. If she, this is really just a sign that she does believe I have a chance, and that she wants to give me the best chance possible, that she does believe in me, obviously, because otherwise she wouldn't be working with me and wouldn't help me. She does believe in me, and she wants to, help me to really get there and have a chance, and that's why she's not like, oh yeah, this is so good and blah blah blah, because that's not so important right now. Because the good things are good and they don't need to be changed and stuff. So that really gave me a much bigger perspective as well on the whole situation. And I then the next day resumed to work and felt just really fine about myself, and not at all like I did the day before and stuff. I then myself looked out for the things she commented on, and then there was many things that she didn't comment on, so obviously they were good. Obviously they were good enough. So I was like, oh my god, there's so much that I did good as well. And even the things that she commented on or she made suggestions about, that doesn't mean they were bad. It was just like one or two things, that I could make a bit better, not could have, because I didn't know in that moment, obviously, but now I can make it a bit better. So yeah, that was really nice to like regain perspective and look at it a different way. Anyway, just to wrap up the series, I need to now wait 3 months basically, probably, to see whether I got the funding for it or not, whether we're going to go ahead with it or not. And then also when I sent off the application, I immediately started crying out of joy and happiness. And not that I'm like, oh my god, like I really hope I'm gonna get it, like I have such a good chance. Not that sort of joy and happiness. I was so proud of myself that I gave myself this opportunity, that I put in all that effort, that I actually enjoyed it, and I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself, and I handled it much different to the way I would have in the past, and how I actually really enjoy this process, and creating the idea. And I was so proud of myself that I gave myself this opportunity to now create a project if I do get the funding. And even if I don't, I had like 3 weeks of just a lovely experience, and I can have more experiences like that. And I was just like, the thought that was in my mind was like, I'm so happy, grateful, and proud that I gave myself this opportunity. And it was so lovely, like such a beautiful moment. Yeah. Anyways, next is me and my sister Alana. We are going to Spain probably for the month of September. We have only booked flights to Spain. We haven't booked any return flights yet. Yeah, at first I was kind of unsure if I really wanted to go, and I was, kind of like thinking more negatively about it, or imagining it more negatively. And that's something I then actually learned yesterday how to, I learned this already, but yesterday it made like another click in me how to change that, how to not imagine it in a bad way. Because I was just kind of thinking about the last time I was in Spain, and I was kind of in a blip, so I wasn't really doing that great. And when mom was there with me, I did enjoy it, but I was still kind of in the blip. And before that I was there for 3 weeks alone, and I don't know, I just had more time to focus on my thoughts. And then I created a lot of, I think, negative thoughts as well, and felt very bad about myself. So anyway, I was in a blip, and I wasn't doing the best. So now I kind of thought about that again, and I was like, will it be like that again once I'm in Spain? But I reminded myself as well, I'm not going to be alone this time. I have my sister with me, and also I've grown again as a person, and I've learned more how to manage my thinking and so on. And it's different, it's a different experience, and this time I'm going to decide not to put so much pressure on myself, but that I can also just have that as a holiday, because after Spain I've already got plans to meet up with someone who could give me a job as a dog sitter. So I might be a dog sitter once I come back from Spain. It really does look like that, which I'm really excited for. And I'm so happy that I'm so excited for these things, because usually in the past my initial reaction to anything new like this would have immediately been fear, like just afraid. Like, what if that goes wrong? What if this and that happens? What if I don't like it? What if I feel uncomfortable? What if this and that? And now, even though I did have one or two of these thoughts, they didn't scare me. It was just like, yeah, if that happens, then I can stop the job. I can find a different thing. I can adapt learn with, feeling uncomfortable and just be okay, or look at it a different way. The way I'm seeing it initially doesn't mean that that's the truth. Like, I can look at any situation in life a different way, in a more helpful and empowering way. And my initial reaction to that was excitement. I was like, yeah, I can have a job. I haven't been employed this whole year, but I always had something to do. I was working on all my own projects. I was never bored, even though that the few couple weeks in Spain I didn't have that much to do, but somehow I always still found something to do. Anyways, the point is, I might have a job as a dog sitter, which is very exciting, and I wanted to work with animals for a while now already, and I like meeting new nice people as well, and this woman seemed very nice, and yeah. So anyways, then what I noticed already about thinking about Spain was always that I kind of thought about it in a negative way, but I always told myself it doesn't need to be like that. It doesn't mean it's going to be like that. I'm just going to focus on having fun with my sister and enjoying it there, and I don't need to feel bad about the fact that I'm not employed right now and that I don't have a job, but that I'm going over to Spain and going on holidays. And somehow it's not fully holidays because I still work there as much as I do here as well. And somehow I'm feeling guilty though, that I'm going on holidays and I haven't been employed this whole year, that I'm just going over to Spain and I have that freedom. I'm feeling guilty about that. And that's what I want to stop now. I don't want to feel guilty because I don't want my life to be any other way. If I wanted it to be different, I could change it. I could, and I do want to have some sort of job that I really enjoy. Yes, that's true. And I do want to earn money, which I'm not doing right now. But now, I'm working on my own projects, which I hope in the future is going to, bring me money and be a proper job for me. And now I have this dog sitting opportunity. So, it all works out and I don't need to feel bad about it. And I think I'm comparing myself as well with other people that are very busy, or other people that have to do certain things, and I don't know, I'm just not really allowing myself to just go over to Spain and enjoy it and just have a holiday. I'm kind of constantly telling myself, oh, I should have something to do as well there. I should be working on something. I shouldn't just sit around, not do anything. And I'm gonna try and work on those thoughts more before I go over to Spain, which I've already been doing the past few days since I noticed I'm thinking about it negatively. And yesterday, what I then noticed, I was listening to a Thrive program podcast about your imagination and how, if you imagine something to be negative or to turn out negative or whatever, then how can you expect it to be any other way then? If I'm imagining Spain to be negative and I really believe it's going to be that way, then that's the way I'm going to experience it. If I instead would imagine it in a nice way and that I'm just going to enjoy myself and I'm going to be kind to myself, not put pressure on myself, then I'm much more going to experience it that way, even if it won't be, great, because of course I'm still learning to not put pressure on myself, but at least my imagination is going to help me to get to that point where I'm going to stop putting pressure on myself. But if I keep imagining myself being unkind to myself and putting pressure on myself, then I'm not going to change that if I keep imagining it that way. And it's actually proven as well that if your imagination and your will are in conflict, so if you want to have a lovely holiday, but you imagine things going wrong and it being negative and you feeling sad, your imagination invariably wins the day. And I'm not just making that up, that's actually proven. So your imagination is so powerful and it's literally in your control as well. So you can sit down, you can change the way you look at things. You can imagine things in a much better, more helpful way, and then your imagination will be uplifting for you. It's gonna support you and help you. So that's something I learned already like months ago, and I've been using my imagination in certain situations in a more helpful way. And that's something I want to do with this now as well. Yeah, and I know that holiday with my sister in Spain, that can be like so cool because we're usually a quite good team. We usually both like being together, and I know we can make it so nice and fun and cozy, and I know in the future it's going to be something that we're going to look back on. We're going to be like, oh, we were there together. How cool is that? How independent we were and how grown up, and we were driving to places alone, and we just lived there alone for a couple of weeks or for a month or however long we're going to be there. So yeah, that's like, it's really exciting. I want to focus more on like the positive things and looking forward to things. Yeah, that's something I definitely want to work on, and I think I'm getting much better as well at that. Then yesterday as well, I very much noticed how during the day I sometimes just suddenly, or not suddenly, but I sometimes just feel down, or I feel kind of bad about myself. And I'm just wondering, like, why do I feel that way? Because there's no reason to, because I'm actually very much enjoying my life at the moment, and these moments where I feel bad, they're not actually affecting me that much. Like, I don't feel very much affected by it. Like, I'm really fine right now, and there's nothing really I want to complain about. Like, really, I'm feeling fine, and I love feeling that way. And that's the thing, like, I do love being here at the moment in Ireland, and I've been enjoying what I'm doing and what I have, and I really appreciate all the moments I have with our dog Akela, and some moments with the family as well when we're playing games or watching movies together. Like, I'm really appreciating that. And the weather has been nice. Today it's very dark, but the weather has been nice recently. We've been sitting outside a lot, and we went swimming again at our property and private access to the lake. And we actually took Akela this time as well, which I'm so proud of, because right beside our property is our grandparents' property. And, you know, we had that conflict, and we're not really in much contact with them anymore. So we were kind of like afraid that Akela would recognize the property and then go over to them, because we definitely didn't want that to happen, because then we would have had to go over and get her back, and it would have been a hassle and not that great. But this time I just felt capable of managing it and of handling it. Like, even if she were to go over, I was like, I'm gonna be fine, we're gonna be fine, I'm just gonna have to get her back, and that's the way it is, and I'm able to handle it. And I just, this time, it was just me and my sisters there, and with Akela, and this time I was just like, why not? Like, we're just gonna take her. She loves the water, she loves, you know, going out and being outside, and she was literally in the water for 90% of the time that we were there. She just was in the water, and she just went in by herself as well. And like, it was so beautiful to see. Like, my heart just broke, and at the same time was so full in that moment. And I was so happy and really proud with myself as well, that I felt capable of handling like whatever was to come, you know. I was just like, I'll manage it, it's not that big of a deal, I'll be okay, and so on. And I just knew she would love it, and she really did, and we all had a blast together then. But then there's these moments, like especially at the weekend as well, where I'm allowed to do whatever I want. That's when I kind of feel bad. I mean, I'm allowed to do whatever I want all day long, every day, but during the week I do try to focus on work and do something productive. At the weekend I'm more like, just do what you want. And that's then when I feel kind of bad about myself, because I'm like, I'm not doing something productive, I'm just sitting around, I'm just on the couch, I'm just, you know, I don't know, I feel guilty then, and I tell myself I should be doing more. Or when I like didn't go out into a different town or outside of our gate, then I feel bad about that. I was like, I was then telling myself, yeah, you're gonna grow more socially anxious if you don't go out and practice your social skills. You know, telling myself things like that, or being like, oh, look at your friend Mario, who's always doing something, like he's always busy, he's always out and about, he's always doing something. And I keep comparing myself to him, keep being like, I should feel bad because I'm not doing that, or I'm not living my life fully, or I'm, you know, or there's other people that are working so much more than me, or, you know, I tell myself I should feel guilty for lying on the couch and enjoying a show that I love, and I should instead go out because that's the only way I can build social confidence, which also isn't true, because social confidence gets built once your self-esteem is higher, once you love yourself more, are kinder to yourself, once you reduce your perfectionism, and once you feel more powerful to manage your own emotions and thoughts and situations in your life, that's when social anxiety decreases, and barely even exists anymore. So I was then like, look, what I'm doing right now, what I'm telling myself, that's what creates social anxiety. Comparing myself to others, not being kind to myself, making myself be a perfect person. Like I should go out, I should be able to do things, I should do this and that, and like, you know, things like that. And then I was telling myself as well, because I always wanted to, at some point in my life, hold speeches. Like I wanted to stand on a stage, have an audience in front of me, and just speak, kind of like I'm doing now, just with an audience. I always wanted to kind of do that, but then when I thought about it again, I was like, oh my god, there's no way I can do that. Like I'd be way too nervous. Like I'd just say wrong things, and I would forget words, and it would be embarrassing, and so on. And I was like, oh, but I should be able to do that. Like, look, you know, I should be able to do that. And then I was like, wait a second, isn't it pretty normal to be very nervous if you're performing speeches or on a stage at any point in front of such a big audience? Isn't that nerve-wracking? Then I compared myself to like Harry Styles or like Millie Bobby Brown, who like literally do that as their job, who have done that since they were young, who have practiced it, and I'm sure they were so nervous the first few times they did that. And it's like all about practice, and you can get there. And then I was looking at other people, and I was like, I'm sure, you know, my neighbor over there would be very nervous to stand on a stage in front of a big audience. I'm sure my parents would. I'm sure people out there in my village would. I think it's a pretty normal thing to be nervous. But the thing is, you can learn the skills to manage that. And you are literally capable of holding a speech in front of millions of people, in front of thousands of people. You are capable of that. It is possible. And so you can build the skills, and you can, you know, you can learn to do that, and you can practice it by doing small audiences first and growing, you know, bigger and bigger audiences. So I really noticed like my perfectionism in that as well, and then black and white thinking. So I was kind of like, well, if I'm not able to hold speeches in front of people, then I'm like really incapable, or I'm like very much a weak person. And I don't know, like I really then felt down about myself, because I was like, I don't think I can hold a speech in front of a big audience. But then as soon as I was like, I can build the skills, and by the way, I think everyone in the world would be nervous, or, you know, most people would be nervous to do that. Yeah, I then felt less bad about myself. And when I noticed my perfectionism, I was like, okay, there it is again. Hi, hello. But I then also noticed a good thing about perfectionism, or what I can really learn from that as well. What it also says in the Thrive program is that perfectionists usually are very successful people, because they keep trying and trying to build their skills so that they can become really good and flawless. And in that case, it's bad, because they'll feel so much pressure, and they'll keep feeling like they're a failure because no one is ever flawless. But the good thing about perfectionism is that these people do keep trying and trying to improve on certain things. And so that's what I saw then as well. Like, because I have that trait, or I'm using it, I can become a really confident person. I can hold speeches. I will be able to do that because I'm going to keep trying to get there and building the skills to be able to do that, but not in a perfectionist way. Like, I want to stop the perfectionist sort of thing, because that's all about just beating yourself up, feeling like a failure all the time, and like just feeling like you need to be perfect, otherwise it's not okay. Obviously I want to drop that, but I do want to keep building the skills so that I can become a very confident person, that comments don't hurt me or they don't affect me, or that I know I can deal with them, just feeling capable. Like, I do want that and I will get there because I'm going to keep trying. So that was a really nice moment yesterday, which I was so proud of afterwards, because I would have in the past absolutely made that into like a 3-day catastrophe. Like, I would have absolutely felt shit about myself for a minimum of 3 days straight, being like, oh, I'm so incapable, like I'll never be able to do that. Look at the standards like I'm setting myself. I'm immediately like, oh, because you'd think you can't hold speeches in front of like thousands of people, that's why like you're incapable and you're not good enough and you're just socially anxious and your self-esteem is low and you're not good. Like, look at those unrealistic standards I'm setting myself. Like, oh my god. So afterwards I was so proud because within 2 minutes I made it out of those stupid unhelpful thoughts within 2 minutes, and then I didn't look back on those negative thoughts at all from that moment on. As soon as I regained perspective and looked at, other people and was more realistic and told myself like I can build the skills, like it's all possible. So yeah. Another thing which I was proud about as well about myself, or what I told my mom, because she kind of isn't feeling great at the moment, and I know from myself because she's my mom and I copied a lot of my own thinking off my mom, of course, and she has that perfectionist thinking as well in certain areas. She usually feels quite down as well when she's thinking in a perfectionist sort of way. She's just feeling like she's not good enough and she should be better. And basically she's being unkind to herself because she's telling herself, she's not doing enough or she's not doing good enough and blah, blah, blah. And she asked me then if I basically have any tips or if I know any sort of strategy on how to get better when you're feeling so low about yourself. And I basically told her then what I had learned through the Thrive program and what I'm implementing in my life as well is, first of all, talk kindly to yourself. Like, actively, when at very top, you need to notice that you're speaking unfriendly to yourself or you're speaking negatively. Whatever is negatively, or you're focusing on negative things. You need to notice that. And then you need to actively turn around those words. So actively talk kind to yourself, actively be understanding with yourself. List things that you're proud of about yourself. List things that you've done good, when you have been, friendly, things that you like about your life. Then I said, if you can't believe those words right now, like if you don't believe the kind stuff you're telling yourself, then it's very important to actively do kind gestures, like actively do something kind for yourself. So do something that you love and enjoy, like make yourself a tea and watch your favorite movie, watch your favorite show, or go for a walk in nature, cuddle with Akela, our dog. Like, do something that you know you're doing this for yourself because you love it and you want to feel better. Like, give yourself that comfort, do something good for yourself. And then what's really important is to process that as well, to notice, I am doing this for myself because I want to feel better and I am actively trying to help myself to feel better and to get back on track. And to also notice that it's okay sometimes to feel bad. That doesn't mean the world is ending. It doesn't mean that the way you're seeing it now is the final way to see it. Like, everything can be changed. Everything you look at in a certain way can be seen in a different way. So there's always many ways to see it, and you just need to find the way that's most helpful to you, that lifts you up, that makes you feel powerful. So I think I said more things, but that's the main things, like talking kind to yourself, doing kind things for yourself, and then processing that and giving yourself time, just giving yourself grace, being that support for yourself, knowing like, I can get myself out of this shithole, like I can do it, and I'm gonna do it for myself. Yeah, and then some other little bits as well in my life that I'm very excited about or proud about as well. Like, I feel like this whole video is just about me telling myself how proud I am. But it's so important for me to notice that, and that's what I'm so proud of as well, that I do notice the things now that I'm doing good and that I should be proud of about myself, because that's how I raised my self-esteem. Like, my self-esteem was so low. Like, look at the videos from July last year that I posted. Like, my self-esteem is so low, and that's not even as low as it has been in my life. Like, I was, I think, at 0% self-esteem in my depression. Like, I really hated myself. Like, it was just, like, I felt so low about myself. I felt like I was so incapable, and yeah, just the worst person ever. And then my self-esteem has never really been very high in my life, but after my depression I had a period where it was quite high, and then I fell down again. Last year there was quite a low point, and now since I went through the Thrive program and really learned how to build your self-esteem, I just need to point out the things that I'm proud of about myself, because that's how you build your self-esteem. And there's things on a daily basis that everyone can be proud of about themselves. And if you don't think there is anything, then do something that you can feel proud of about yourself. So yeah, anyways, something that I've been doing every morning, which is the reason why I'm not waking up and feeling depressed, or waking up being like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life, or I don't know what to do with my day, is that when I wake up, I immediately list 3 things I was proud of about myself. I try to focus on the previous day, but it can be like recently. I'm not going to list something that was years ago, because that's not necessarily gonna help me boost my self-esteem, but I want to focus on who I am now and what I'm doing currently. So 3 things I'm proud of about myself, and then 3 things I'm looking forward to today. And that's actually something proven as well, which helps to prevent depression, or which helps people get out of depression, is when they have something to look forward to. And so that's why I'm always listing 3 things I am looking forward to, and I'm trying to focus on the day ahead of me, but I can also say like in the near future. So those things have really been helping me to not wake up like, oh, I don't know, and things like that, but waking up and actually really looking forward to something and feeling good about myself. Like, I'm immediately boosting my self-esteem in the morning and, giving myself something to look forward to. So, what better way is there to wake up? And that's so nice, because you can just do that for yourself. You can just boost your self-esteem right now. So, yeah. And then another thing I love is that I've been thinking about reaching out to one of my primary school teachers, my most favorite teacher I ever had. I had her when I was in 6th class here in Ireland, and she's just such an amazing person. Like, I just knew if I were to ever be a teacher, I would want to be like her. I knew that from the beginning, and she meant so much to me. And looking back on my school life, like the way she taught us and how she handled us or behaved towards us, and it's just so admirable. And I just really knew that she would be someone I would want in my life. And she was still a very young teacher. She was just out of college, I think, when she taught us. And I just knew she's someone I would like to be friends with as well. So I was like, you know, I'm at the moment, I have been trying to surround myself with more good people and meeting up with people that just, you know, fill my heart and that do me good. And so she was someone I was really like, you know, what's the harm in trying to reach out and see if something comes back, or, you know, if she's interested in meeting up with me, like, what's the harm? All that it could do is help me gain someone else beautiful in my life. So I reached out to her then over Instagram. That's the only reason I got Instagram, so that I could reach out to her. And to maybe some other celebrities. I'm going to try to reach out to some people who could maybe help me with my YouTube channel. I have no idea if anything comes back, but again, there's no harm in reaching out. So anyway, I reached out to her and she replied. She really did text me back or DM me back, whatever. Oh my god, I was so excited when I saw her typing, and I was, oh my god, I was so excited, and I was so proud of myself for having done that. Like, again, what's the harm? There's no harm. And now we're actually gonna meet up, like probably next week we're gonna meet up, and it was just so lovely. Like, it was so lovely, and I'm so happy I did that. Yeah, another really, you know, exciting thing is that my friend Mario, he has a younger sister, and I met up with her 2 or 3 times when I was in Spain last time. And that was like the first time we really met up, like just me and her, and we really spoke. Like, before that, yeah, we never really properly spoke together. And I mean, it instantly clicked between us. Like, we instantly just clicked, and it was just so natural, and we like talked like the whole time, like non-stop. It was never awkward, but we also really connected on that, on like social anxiety and the awkward silence or awkwardness and things like that. Like, we really connected on so many things. And yeah, I've been in contact with her now a lot actually as well since I'm back from Spain, and we just keep each other updated, and we're talking about various things, and I love that I can talk deep with her and Mario as well. Like, that was something that was always important to me in friendships, being really able to talk about my feelings and my thoughts and go deeper and be myself. And it's just so lovely and so loving. Like, our messages are just so lovely. And I really now feel like I have made another friend, and I'm so happy about it. And I couldn't wish for better friends than her and Mario. And, you know, I really, for such a long time, didn't believe people like them existed. And I definitely didn't think I was ever going to meet people like them. And now they're just in my life, and I, you know, made that happen, you know, and it's just so amazing. And yesterday we spoke quite a lot, me and her as well, and I just got really touched when she said that she would speak to me about her struggle, that she feels comfortable enough to speak with me. And she also said that she would be 100% there for me to listen to, you know, whenever I feel like I would like someone to talk to or whatever. And I mean, oh my god, I can't even cry now. The amount of years that I wished for someone like this in my life. I wished for someone to listen to me, to be there for me, to just hug me and just love me for me. And oh my god, the amount of years I wished for that, and now I have it, and I'm just the luckiest person ever. And it's just all worth it for moments like these. It's just all, oh my god, it's just so amazing. And I'm so grateful for everything I have. Like, I love it so much, and I'm so excited for the future as well, like for what I'll be doing. And I'm gonna figure it out. Like, I'm gonna figure out what I want to do with my life. And this Irish Myths and Legends thing, like, this is a really good opportunity, and it's just amazing. And I love that there's nothing I have to do. Like if I don't like something, I can just not do it. If I'm, struggling with something, I can figure it out. Like it's all possible. And I love that at the moment, like whenever there is anything negative in my mind or whatever, I'm able to turn it around. I don't just leave it there and let it ruin my day. Like I do something about it, and sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder, but I'm getting there, and I'm really learning how to manage my thinking and my emotions, and I'm seeing more and more that it's really in my hands, and I can really do something about it, and I can do something about my life. I can make it better. I can surround myself with good people. I can do what I love. Like that's... So another interesting thing that I've been thinking about is actually meeting my aunt again, my mother's sister, who was like, yeah, another someone who wasn't great in this family drama. She was kind of, yeah, on our perspective of all of this, she was like in the same category as Granny and Granddad. Like, don't want to really have anything to do with them anymore. She's really did many really stupid, bad things, and so on. So we were kind of like, we don't want to meet up with her anymore. And so we actually haven't properly met up with her in 2 years or something. But I recently saw my younger cousins when we were actually swimming at the lake. They were on their side as well, and our cousins just like waved at us, and they're very young still. They're like 4 or 5 years old now, and they were just so happy to see us, and we just waved at each other. And I was like, oh, I'd really, I want to meet up with them. And we've often invited them to meet up with us, but we didn't want to see their mothers. So she never allowed her kids to see us without her. So whenever we met up like with our uncle recently, or whenever we met up with Granny, we always said like they can bring along the twins. But our aunt didn't allow that, because she was like, no, they can only see the twins if they see me too. So yeah, that's the way she is. That describes her in a nutshell. Okay, and then anyways, when I saw them recently, the two cousins waving at us and being so happy, I just really was like thinking in my mind, I am at that stage where I feel like I would actually like to meet my aunt and my cousins again, and not to be like, happy family, oh my god, everything's so great and I love you guys so much, but just because it was never really my choice to let them go. It was my parents who wanted to distance themselves from them, and I obviously followed my parents and so on, and I, saw everything that happened. So it was always for me like, I'm just not going to do anything with my aunt, just going to distance myself. And she was actually the one who blocked me and my sisters on WhatsApp, so we actually can't contact her. If I wanted to contact her, I'd have to go through Granny or something. So she actually decided to cut us out of her life to some extent anyways. So yeah, there's all of that. But I have felt recently that I kind of want to meet her, and I've noticed as well that that's completely my decision. And I know that my dad especially is not going to be happy about that decision. So I haven't told him or my mom yet, and I'm going to find out how. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what they say, and I know what they're going to say. But it's my decision, and I need to deal with the consequences as well. And I feel like in my life right now, I want to just meet up with her again, and I want to see my twin cousins. I just feel like doing that at the moment, because I miss my family. I do, as horrible as they are. I just do miss it. I was always a family person. It was always my favorite time of the year, being with my family. Like, I really miss that. And yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the update right now. So I'm happy I made this video, because yeah, there was many things I was proud of, it turns out. Many things I was just very happy about the way I handled it, whenever I did have any negative thoughts or whatever, that I turned it around. And yeah, and really noticing my perfectionism, like even if I'm not fully thriving yet and I'm not like loving my whole life and I'm like the happiest person ever, it doesn't need to be that way. Like it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm getting there, I'm learning the steps, and I'm doing good right now. Like I am doing good, even if there are moments or days that are a bit more like, but it hasn't been a day in a long time, like since I'm back from Spain, I think, where I really felt very down. I don't think there has been a day where I really hated it or something. There's been moments and stuff, but no, I've really been doing fine, and I'm just loving the way I'm handling things and seeing how I really am capable of handling things and managing my thoughts and emotions, and yeah, just keep going. It's all a learning, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself, keep going, you've got this, and until the next time, bye. I'm not sure if I fully elaborated on when I said like there's these moments in between where I kind of feel bad. What I meant is like sometimes I like compare myself to other people, or I feel bad that I'm not working enough, like that's my perfectionism, and basically I want to build steps to like reduce that. So when I notice like I'm putting pressure on myself to go to work because I feel like I should work, or edit my videos or write something or whatever, I then want to question like, why am I putting that pressure on myself? Do I need to put that pressure on myself? Like, why am I comparing myself to others? There's no standards I need to live up to. I'm a free person. And then when I'm like comparing myself to others and feeling like I should be doing the same, or I should be busier than I am or whatever, I want to more build my social confidence and tell people as well, like, I don't have a job right now and that's okay. Or like, today I didn't do much, I just mainly laid on the couch, which I don't really do usually. I usually always do something. But also I want to allow myself, like if I want to have a day where I just lie on the couch the whole day, like I want to feel like that's okay as well. So I need to build my social confidence in that sense as well, and be like, tell people, yeah, today I didn't really do much except lie on the couch and watch something. And like, that's okay as well. And just because I'm not going out much and doing many things, which is kind of difficult in Ireland anyway, especially when you're not insured in the car, just to be like, that's fine. Not everyone wants a busy lifestyle. Not everyone wants to always do something. And even though I'd like to do more, would like to do more than we do as a family. When I'm in Spain alone, I do more things. I go out more, and I'll be able to do that as well. And if I wanted to do more here, I could just get insured and pay the couple €100 for the insurance and stuff. So yeah, I just want to build more skills, and more, take more steps to like reduce feeling bad about myself. Like also just telling my friend Mario, yeah, today I didn't really do much, and not feel ashamed about that. Or when I notice that pressure, be like, do I really need that pressure? No, like reduce it, those sort of things.